Hi guys, I am back in my hometown and it is certainly bringing a lot of memories. I was born around 2 kilometers from here, from this house that you are seeing right now. So I wasn't given much to begin with. And today in this video, I want to send a message and talk to people that feel like perhaps they feel a little bit behind in life, because I have certainly been there. I fell behind in life for many years. It is going to be unscripted. I have a little note here, sort of talking points of what I want to talk about. But first, let's try to find a space to sit down and set up the camera properly. Now, I don't think that we all just wake up one day and feel like we have accomplished nothing. It stems from, first of all, I think comparison. When we compare ourselves or our success with other people, that is when most of the time we feel like we are behind and we're not at the level that a certain group of people are. In my case, for example, the very first time that I felt, or maybe not the first time, but I would say the most prominent time that I realized that I was really behind in life was when I moved to the UK. Moving countries, you're basically starting from nothing. I didn't really have any qualification in the UK. I didn't go to UK university, and I was earning a really low salary, and everywhere I looked, everyone I knew, I felt like I was just way behind comparing to them. So definitely I think comparison is the main reason why we feel behind in life to begin with. So I think the question really is, are we actually comparing ourselves to the right people? Because honestly, with the background that I come from, I can't honestly compare myself with, let's say, Bill Gates, or the people that come from families with money in the UK that send their kids to posh high schools or red bricks universities. I can't possibly compare myself with those people. What I have come to understand is that not everyone is created equal. Unfortunately, the environment that you're brought up in, the country that you're born in, the people that you spend time with, your parents, your friends, those people that you grow up with, that you spend time in your childhood, really has a lot of impact on the opportunities that are available to you. Certain mindsets that you have could be limiting mindset or abundance mindset, and it all depends on these external factors that unfortunately you can't even control. Like, for example, if you're born in certain countries, let's just say the Commonwealth countries, the UK, then you have opportunities, or you are able to move rather easily. There's certain visas available to you to move there. But if you're born in a southeastern country like I do, it is very difficult to extremely difficult actually to get out of the country and get a job somewhere, even somewhere else in Asia. So the opportunities are fairly limited, and you are going to have to work harder comparing to other people. If you're born in a poverty, for example, it is extremely difficult for you to get out of it. But for people that were from a family of middle class already, or a family with generational wealth, you can use the wealth that was already there for you to accelerate your wealth much easier. It's better to start with something than starting from zero, and we all know that. But it's not really all doom and gloom, because I do entirely believe that although we're not born with certain opportunities, or our opportunities are limited, or the environment that we grow up in taught us to be a person with limiting beliefs, however, we all can try our very best to create our own opportunities. And if you feel like you are behind in life, this is extremely important, because remember, you may come from a foundation that doesn't really give you a lot to start off with. However, if you try different things, if you try new things and look for opportunities, you might catch a lucky break that would open more doors for you. I truly believe in this, because I remember this day very well. I've had experience of it myself. When I was around 17, I sat down with a group of friends and we were having some lunch, and there was a newspaper lying around on the table. I picked up the newspaper, and there was on the newspaper, there was, back in the days, But on a newspaper, there was an ad, and it was the advertising for a foreign exchange student program. Now, I remember this day very clearly. There were around 7 or 8 of us sitting together, and we were all so excited about the ads. Everyone said, we need to apply, we are going to do this, we are going to go abroad, we're going to study overseas, and it was so exciting for all of us. However, I was actually the only person who actually applied for the program. I got in, I went to the US, and from there, it just improved my life so much. And I often think about this very golden opportunity that friends of mine has missed because there was something that was holding them back, or maybe they didn't want to try, or maybe they just felt like they couldn't do it or couldn't afford it. So yeah, definitely not everyone is created equal, and we might have not born with much luck, but we have to try our best to create our own luck. And the thing is, once you come to realize that, okay, you can create your own luck if you try new things. But see, I feel like sometimes things is not as easy, because although you want to try new things, there's always people telling you that you can't do it or you shouldn't do it. It is as if like life is the game, and sometimes people feel good for you to be a little bit behind in life comparing to them, and when you want to start doing something that could potentially put you in front of them, they're not really supportive of you. And I've had this happening to me so many times. When I started my YouTube channel, although my very close friends are very supportive of me, my family are also very supportive. However, a larger circle of people that I knew weren't supportive. I always got comments about how I speak. Am I faking my accent? I'm not funny, I'm trying too hard to be funny, or whatever it was. People are just always trying to, I feel like sometimes people just always try to put you down and stop you from doing something. People always doubt whether you are going to make it. But the thing is, these are the same people, I believe, that once you made it or once you are successful, they are the same people that will say to you, I knew you would always make it. So if you're someone that know or feel that you are behind in life and you're working very hard to get out of that place, that you want to feel better about yourself, want to feel like you get somewhere in life, do not ever let other people stop you from doing what you're doing. You need to believe in yourself. And I know it is extremely difficult. I've grown up in an environment where I've not taught, but people told me things that make me feel like I don't really believe in myself. I've grown up with limiting beliefs, which is something that I'm constantly working on now in my adult life, in my 30s. But you've got to try your best to exclude all the noises and just focus on you, because you can do it. Really, you can. And perhaps another reason why we feel behind in life is perhaps because we lack clarity. I mean, we are in the world that social media has so much impact in our lives. I'm not sure about you, but used to be when I go on Instagram, for example, or even YouTube, I was so influenced by how other people live their life and what other people did. Like, for example, one day I could be watching someone who is an entrepreneur talking about how great their life is. They're working by the beach and life is beautiful and all that. And I was like, oh, actually, I want to be like that. Yeah, I do. I really do want to be like that. The next day, I could be watching someone who's, I don't know, who's like a mum of 7 kids, living in a middle of nowhere in Texas and with a farmhouse. And I could be thinking, oh my God, yeah, what a wonderful life. This is also like, I want this. So I feel like on a day-to-day basis, we get pulled in so many directions because of all of these distractions or this information around us, and hence why we feel so behind. Because if I want to be a mom of 7 living in Texas, well, first of all, I'm not even living in the US, and I've never had a child. So yeah, that puts me so behind, right? Or if I want to be an entrepreneur, living by the beach somewhere, well, I live in a country where it is gray most of the time. So obviously I am behind, and I have a full-time job, which is, apparently these days is deemed to be unacceptable. So without clarity, I think it's very easy to feel like you are behind. I've talked about this in other videos I did before, but I have really started journaling, and it really gives me so much clarity of where I want to be in the future. And it's definitely, not like a private jet sort of like lifestyle. And I really urge you to do the same. If you feel behind in life, I think before you start comparing yourself with whoever it is on earth, on social media that you see, think about truly what you want first. Because once you understand that, maybe you realize that you're actually not really behind. You're actually either on par or right at where you need to be for the life that you want to live. Just a food for thoughts. Maybe I'm a bit emotional because it's end of the year, and the new year is soon approach us, and I just want to sort of have a free chat about this, because yeah, it's just been on my mind a lot, and it's certainly a feeling that I definitely felt quite strongly a couple of years ago. I still do feel a little bit now sometimes, but not as often anymore. Take this video, take my rant or vent, whichever way you like. But if you find this helpful or giving you some inspiration, then I would really love to know it. So leave that in the comments. And hey, if not, if this video doesn't really give you anything, thank you for watching until the end anyway. Yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video. I am going to walk around and enjoy the sunshine.